Hello? 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, sorry guys, I got a new mic, so I'm trying it out. Um, Today's episode, we are going to talk about treatment options when it comes to bed bugs. So I don't know if I have a episode about this, but we get a lot of calls that talk about that. Customers ask us like, we heard, you know, that heat treatment is the best, chemical treatment. Um, what's the difference? And there's other options as well. But what we recommend is just kind of a collab, a lot of them. Like, I'm sorry, I'm blanking out, but combining some of the treatment processes together. So, um, visit us at tulsabedbugspecialist.com for more information. And you can give us a call at 918-892-5254 if you're in our area, or if you just need any questions. If we have time, we'll answer some questions if you're out of state as well. But yeah, at this point, we've been doing the bedbug treatments for 7 years, and that we've kind of tried it all at this point. We've tried the heat, the chemical, mechanical. There's a cold treatment where they use dry, essentially like dry ice and carbon dioxide um, machine to kind of kill the bed bugs. But we've never used that one. But that's out there for that's for like maybe medical facilities that can't use chemicals. So that's an option. I don't know many companies that offer that, and it's it would be pretty hard to find one that did. And I think that service is obsolete now. But going forward, we'll kind of go down the line. So I'll kind of start from the bottom to the top, which would the bottom again, that would be the cold treatment. Not many companies recommend or do this, but again, like I say, it would be targeting. It's a machine that has like a nozzle, that has a spray tip or a nozzle, and it just shoots like cold carbon dioxide, snow, dry ice, and it just freezes the bed bugs. Now the problem with this service is that you have to get you're not just freezing the whole room, so you have to kind of get in the cracks and crevices of where the bed bugs are. So you'll have to physically see all of them to kill and be able to get the product or the tool in the cracks and crevices of the item and the furniture and in the walls. So this is not really a practical application for bed bugs. Again, if you're in like a medical facility, I think they would use this service or method for like if it was just the bed bugs would stay on like a bed, a hospital bed, or if they got around some equipment at the hospital, that would kind of be what it's for. But to say like this would work at a home, I mean, absolutely not. I don't think you would have any success with this at all, alone anyway. Just doing it alone. But anyway, next we would go to mechanical treatments. I'm gonna make sure this is recording. Yeah, it's still recording. So the mechanical treatments, that would be kind of the tools that we use for bed bugs. So um, this was kind of like a treatment, standalone treatment, where you would use vacuums. You would vacuum up all the bed bugs. You would use a steamer to steam them. that kind of gets them out of cracks and crevices and also kills them. And then you would use mattress encasements as well to keep your mattress safe, or to just lock in some bed bugs so that they can die inside the mattress encasement. Of course, the problem with this is the bed bugs don't just stay in the encasement. They wouldn't just. I mean, they would stay in the encasement, but they're not usually just on the mattress. They're on the frame. They're on the bed. They're on the box spring as well. So this process alone is not as effective either. Um, There'd be other tools you could use, like traps, bed bug traps, where they climb up on the inceptors. I think what they're called. I can't remember. We used to call them climb up. I'm blanking on the name because we used them like not even that long at all. When you really find out the nature of bed bugs, um, they're kind of useless. But essentially, what they were was little devices that you would put on the bottom of just picture like a bowl, a black bowl that you would put on the bottom of the legs uh, of the bed, the legs of the bed, and the bed bugs will crawl up on it, and then they would fall inside the little bowl part of the device, and then they wouldn't be able to get out because on the inside it's very slippery. And then some people would put diatomaceous earth in there as well, so kind of kill them a little quicker. But the problem with that is that that's great before you even get the infestation. So, but once bed bugs get up on the bed, they don't really come down it. A few of them might. Again, once the population gets big enough, they do. They may travel to other pieces of furniture, but that alone um, doesn't really help. So again, this is the mechanical treatment I would say when you're using uh, devices and machines, traps. Like I say, the devices would be kind of like vacuum steamers, encasements, traps, um, to kill all the bed bugs. Again, bed bugs hide most of their lives, so um, this alone is usually not effective as well. Again, you have to get in all the cracks and the crevices of where the bed bugs, and it's almost possible to figure out where they all might be. Um, if you have a room that has like wooden floors or tile floors and not that much furniture, you might be able to get rid of them like this. But in an average situation, like household, this alone wouldn't be for us. This wouldn't work. We'd get a lot of callbacks, get a lot of unsatisfied customers as well. So, all right, we did the cold treatment, the mechanical treatment. Now we're up to heat treatment. Now, this is what the internet and everybody's kind of go to when it comes to treatments. Um, of course, like the name, it's a heat treatment that where you bring in heaters or you have heat pumped into your home. Usually, fans are placed in your home. He, their heat is pla- heat fans are placed in your home. Heaters are put in your home, or they have some propane heaters that they just leave outside, and then have a ducting that they would put in the home, so that you would uh, pump in the heat. I think the electric heaters there's electric heaters you can use. I think electric or gas, and so we used electrics at the time. We used it, but yeah, you just um, heat your home, you gradually bring up the temperature to 140 degrees. This usually takes about 4 to 6 hours, and you leave the temperature there for about 2 hours. Um, and so you have to bring the temperature up, I think, between um, 122 degrees to 140 degrees is is the about the temperature they die out. Um, so, of course, this is a process that we used to use ourselves. The problem for us is that um, heat only works as long as heat is on. So, once the heater is cut off after that 2 hours, the heat is cut off. Um, you then have nothing that's going to kill the bed bugs if any remain. So, like we said, the temperature of the house may be 140 in the middle of the room, 130 in the middle of the room, but under the couch it might be 110 degrees, which would be enough, which would be hot, but not hot enough to kill them. Um, and as time goes by, they hide. So it gets uncomfortable. They hide into places where it's cooler. So, um, so the fan kind of evens the air out. So after figuring out this process, they brought fans in there to move the air around the room to make the temperature hot kind of everywhere. Um, and so periodically, a technician will come in with a temperature reading to see if every room is at the right temperature. Um, and so this works um, partly um, because, like I said, heat is just you get only a 2 to 4 hour kill of the bed bugs versus the next method, you'll get longer killing power. Um, Associated with doing a heat treatment is a risk. Wait, let me go back. And so, again, like we said earlier, bed bugs hide most of their life. So they're already hidden their eggs um, under under fabric, under carpet, under baseboards. So don't get me wrong, you'll probably get the majority of them, but all you need is two or three to stay alive, and the infestation can grow back into what it was in a few months. So there's that. So also associated with the heat treatment is the risk. So this is one thing we decided not to do anymore is because the risk of it. So of course the technician has to come over, um, give the estimate, and they got to sit down with the customer and say, hey, this is everything you need to do. So we give a prep. You have to get all ammo out of the home, anything that you can melt, get out of the phone, get out of the house. Any flammable products you have to get out of the house. Any um, anything you feel valuable that will melt, like vinyl records can melt in the home or even mess them up. So there's a lot of things you have to get out of your home before you can do this treatment. Any ammo? Yeah, I already said that. Sorry. Um, so yeah, it's a lot of, and so we sit down with the customer, kind of explain all this out. Then we have you sign a disclaimer saying, hey, if you miss something, it ain't on us. And also, um, you know, there are the risk of damaging items as well. So we've seen this personally. Like when we heated homes, we didn't do it long enough that we destroyed anything or messed up anything. But after not using this process anymore, I've seen homes. I've come back to homes that the company didn't get rid of the bed bugs, and they had damaged items. There was one time we had somebody that you have to unplug all your electronics. Um, and there was once where a guy, he did everything he was supposed to, and then after the heat is gone, comes back to his home and his TV doesn't work. We've seen where blinds have melted. We've seen where like certain edges of beds have melted or warped. Warped would probably be the better word. And of course, the risk of something catching on fire. Now, this has happened before. I'm sure it's extremely rare, but it is a possibility when you're heating a home up to that temperature. Oh, and I forgot one thing you have to remove is candles as well. Candles melt pretty easy, so anything like that can melt. So yeah, so this is a process that's pretty popular. Now the thing with heat treatments as well is that it's pretty expensive. I think a lot of it is expensive because you have to lease or rent or buy the equipment as a pest control company. This equipment can cost anywhere to get a decent heating equipment. You're looking at between $10,000 and $20,000. That's not including the trailer and the truck you would have to use to haul it around. So with all that, so because of the cost of this equipment, and you and some companies lease it out month per month or make payments on it and stuff. For us, we had a lease agreement where we were kind of renting the equipment because we had just gotten a business and we wasn't doing too many of them that we needed to own it. But that is so with all of that equipment and all of the risk and the effort, because once the technician starts the process, he has to go in and check things to make sure everything is prepped right, and he's the one that's going to come in and check the temperature period. I'm sorry, I can't. Every once in a while, he's going to come in and check the home to make sure every room is up to temperatures every 30 minutes to an hour. He's going to come in there and check the temperature. And so that's labor that you're paying as well. So you're there from 6 to 8 hours, a technician, usually two of them, and you're heating this house up to 140 degrees. And even then, you still might not get rid of them. And that cost, the cost of all of that, like I said before, they pass it on to the customer. So yeah, we have not seen that successful. Now, the last one, which is the heat treatment, which is the process and the treatment that we offer, Tulsa Bed Bug Specialist, is a chemical application. Now, the internet will say that, and when people Google, we have customers all the time. I would almost say 50% of our calls, they kind of tell us like, well, they say heat treatment's the only way to go, because they read on the internet that bed bugs become resistant to chemicals, and they adapt to them, and they don't work like they used to. And so what I tell people is, first of all, that's people just trying to sell you on a heat treatment. And one thing they're not going to tell you is that they're going to heat treatment, but they're going to come back with a product as well, a residual product. So they are using chemical application as well when they do heat. But they're not going to sell it like that. And so for us, we found the process that we use is a lot quicker, it's a lot cheaper, and it's more efficient for us and less work for the customer and less liability for us and less liability for the customer. And so what we use is a chemical application with integrative pest management techniques. And what that means is that we're not just going in there spraying around the room. We're doing an inspection in every piece of the furniture in every room in the home, and we're using mechanical treatment techniques as well. So we use a vacuum to remove as many bed bugs as we can find. We use a steamer that steams them out of. What that does is it helps flush them out of cracks and crevices. And then we're coming back again, vacuuming any more up, vacuuming any eggs up. And then at that point, we're using products to get rid of the bed bug. So in voids and wall voids, we're using a residual product, meaning that it's going to kill long after it's applied. So we're using dust, insecticide dust in wall voids and cavities of the furniture or the home. We're using a residual liquid product that we're spraying around the perimeter of the room and perimeter of the furniture and also inside the furniture. So you kind of have three barriers that if bed bugs don't jump and they don't run. So they have to walk across different barriers of treatment for them to die out. And with the process that we're using now, with added all of that, we're using a synthetic insecticide treatment specifically for bed bugs. We're also using a biocide, and a biocide works where it lasts longer and it works more effectively by. Excuse me. Hello. Sorry for that interruption. We had a customer call in. So yeah, so back to it. Where was I at? So anyway, yeah. So the biocide, it really works very well. It's fairly a new product compared to the other ones, and it lasts a few months, actively killing them. You don't need it to work that long, but it's good to know something's there killing for that long process. So we kind of use a lot of different tools and products and processes to get rid of bed bugs, and this has worked best for us. It's made it cheaper for the customer, cheaper for us, less liability for the customer, less liability for us, and because of that, we're able to pass those savings on to the customer. So, and we still get just as well as a kill. I mean, we're getting less callbacks because with the heat, we would get callbacks saying like, "Hey, we're still seeing them." A couple of days later, once the heat is out and they feel safe enough, they're just going to come back and feed to whoever they're around. With this, even though they could last a little longer, they don't. We don't see a longer life cycle compared to heat, but it's good that there's a product still there killing them. If it needs more time, if they need more time, if one got lucky or an egg got missed, it's still enough product that it's going to kill them and get rid of them. And we've seen a lot of success with this chemical application, and we're getting and it's just working great for everybody. Again, it's very complicated to say like chemicals don't work or they're becoming resistant to it. Especially the process is more complicated than people think to say they're becoming resistant. Plus, it takes about 20 years or so before these products like become completely resistant. And within that time, there's going to be 3 to 4 products that replaced it that's going to be working just as well. And that's one thing you got to consider as well that they're not telling you is that there's manufacturers working on something different constantly. A new product. Does this work? Does this work? Does this work? I mean, we've had 2 to 3 products that we've changed to get the success that we've have, and we might have to test in a few more years just to to get those same results. But even with that, we're using other techniques to heat up a room. I mean, to kill the bed bugs. So yeah, so those are the treatment options. Hopefully that's helpful. This was longer than I thought. I'm sure I was rambling, but yeah, chemical, heat, mechanical, cold treatments are all options. But like I say, we think the chemical treatment is the best. And again, it's not just a chemical treatment. It's the IMP, which is pest integrative pest management techniques with chemical application with mechanical application. So yeah, and there's been times where there's almost never a time that heat where we wish we would have had heat. If that was the case, we probably wouldn't have done the job, because that's usually where maybe a hoarder situation would help, or somebody that doesn't want to prep. And in those situations, we don't help either. Oh, and another option I forgot to mention is that with the products that we use and the method we use, there's less preparation. So the customer doesn't have to bag up their whole house for us to get rid of the bed bugs, or throw away stuff, or or remove stuff. There's a little bit, but not nearly as much as the heat treatment. Not even a quarter of the work. Um, so so yeah. So again, we think that's successful. And here at Tulsa Bed Bug Specialist in the Tulsa area, this is what we use and this is what we do. We use it on a daily, if not weekly, basis to kill these bugs, and we get again daily and weekly customers that love it. Um, And so, yeah, so if you're in the area, give us a call, and visit our website, tulsabedbugspecialist.com, or you can go to tulsabedbugexterminator.com. And if you want to know more about these applications I'm talking about, that would be tulsabedbugexterminator.com /full guarantee treatment service. Um, So yeah, thank you for listening. If you're in the area or if you need any advice, call us at 918-892-5254. Until next time,